What is up, everybody? We're taking the exhaust off of the Dakota and replacing the muffler and catalytic converter with this. We're straight piping the entire thing. It's still going to exit all the way out the back of the truck. I'm going to go down here real quick and show you guys what this thing has for exhaust. So the plan is to cut the entire section out in the middle, basically where the muffler's at, right here where this little adapter is welded for the muffler, because it goes from 3" to 2.5" right here. I'm going to cut it right behind those welds, and right there is one of the sections I'm going to clamp the exhaust down. I'm going to get a 2.5" adapter, go from the 3 to 2.5, so I can clamp it to the tailpipe right there. And then everything from that point up to right here where the welds are for the cat are going to get cut out, and that's not going back on the truck. And then I'm going to weld my 3" pipe straight to this little guy right here, whatever this little snake pipe, I don't know what you call it is. Hopefully it'll pull off right there. If it will not slide off because it's all rusted and stuff, I'm going to have to take the grinder, cut a slit into that, pry it open, and then slide it off. And if I have to do that, I have a 3" coupler that I can cut in half and weld to this, so I am at least prepared for that. And then I can clamp it down right there, and then just have pipe running straight back. And then put the tailpipe back on, and then we will be straight piped. And we'll see how loud it is. If it's too loud, it won't be hard to stick a glass pack or something on it. First thing I'm going to do is go and just start cutting the exhaust out. I'm going to cut it where that midsection between the cat and the muffler is, and then just remove that pipe entirely from down there, just to have it out of the way so there's plenty of room between the other two sections I'm removing. And then I'll probably try to get the front section out first, and then I'll go and get the tailpipe out, and then I'm going to I will probably put the tailpipe back in first, and then start putting the midsection, the new midsection in, and then we'll drop it back down on the ground, start it up, get it outside, and let you guys hear what it sounds like. It just sounds stock. It's got a stock muffler, stock cat on it. I think the cat's a little bit burned out, so it makes it a little bit more of a rumble than normal, but it's not really worth doing it before and after. So if you were expecting that, sorry, you can just go look up stock 3.9 Dakota exhaust, I guess, and see what you find. But I will for sure be showing you guys what it sounds like afterwards, because that's what we're all here for anyway. So I'm going to go down there, get to cutting, and then I will let you guys see what else I'm doing. Alright, everything is off. That was pretty easy once I had this cut off, and this is what I meant by having to slice it open to pry it out, because it was rusted on there pretty good. Since I'm going to be welding on it, I figured I'd get one Napa one and one O'Reilly one and see which works better. The Napa one's probably going to work better, but I'm going to take half of it, or more than half maybe, slide it onto here, weld it straight to this, and I already tested it. This slides over the Y pipe on the truck. Here's the rest of it. This exhaust was done a long time ago, and they must have welded pipe on while the cat was still on the truck, because there's a giant exhaust leak right here, and there's another one back here right along this top section here. But and they must have welded everything while it was still on the truck rather than doing it off, which I guess is okay, since I mean it's probably difficult to put a muffler on anyway. But this was the worst one. I could hear that from inside the truck, and I didn't like it. So all of this here, except for this, I'm reusing this. I'm going to cut it right there, which is why I needed this off, so I could get a nice good cut, save as much of that pipe as possible so it's easier to weld to. But everything from here to here is not going to go back on the truck. This is a brand new muffler, but I don't need it, and I don't want it anymore, so it's coming off. I laid everything out so I could make sure that I had enough pipe to run front to back, and I have more than enough right there, so that's good. So now I'm going to start cutting the cat off, and I'm going to get the coupler welded up to this S pipe, and I'll, set the camera up and record the grinding and the welding and stuff of that. And then I'm going to get the pipe cut right here as well, and then get the adapter welded to it. And then once all of this straight section is done, I will start messing around with the tailpipe, and we'll go bolt everything back on, and hopefully within the next hour I will be bropping all over the place and making a bunch of noise and pissing a bunch of people off. right. No wonder this truck had a nice little rumble to it. The cat's empty. Oh, that is just sweet. Somebody already had their way with this catalytic converter. That is awesome. No wonder this thing was so noisy before, because we were like, man, there's no way this thing makes that much noise. Just with, you know, your standard muffler and everything. Well, now we know it had a gutted cat. That's awesome. Also means I can't take it to the junkyard and make my $35 off of it, but I'll survive. I had to show you guys that real quick. I'm going to save this since it's a gutted cat, and I can use it in the future to do non-emissions related things, of course. But yeah, gutted out catalytic converter. That's sweet. Alright, everything's cut and welded. Here we go. This is the front half. Actually, this is the very front of it. This is what's going to slide over the Y pipe. And I got this section to get over the transmission cross member. Had to use and heck the extra section from that I cut off over here to make it this easier to weld. The welds looked like junk because I didn't clean anything. And the welder does not like the plug I'm using very much. But they'll hold up fine. I had it on max the whole time to make sure it penetrated all the way up there. And then coupler and the 2.5 inch reducer, which will fit over this where I cut the muffler off. And then I didn't change anything up until the very end where I cut this 90-degree off and just welded a straight section, so it's gonna come out slightly and then just come out at an angle, and then I'll mount it up and decide how it how it looks. And in the future, if I want to change it, all I gotta do is cut this somewhere and re-angle it and run it different. But this is the angle it's going to need in order to clear the hitch and the tow package and everything. So that would have to be that way. I figured I would see if I like how it looks like that before I go and mess with it too much, because it'll kind of exit out the corner of the bumper a little bit. I'll see how I like it. But yeah, everything's ready to go, ready to be put in the truck again. So I'm going to get the tailpipe re-hung, because that'll be easy. And then I'm going to go and get this midsection on, and then we'll just clamp everything down. There's only going to be 2 clamps, which are in my bag over here. Only 2 clamps. The 3-inch for the front Y pipe, and then the 2.5 for the tailpipe. And that's it. Everything else is welds, which is nice. It'll hold up a lot better and hopefully not have any leaks. So let's go get this put back together. And then I'll get the garage door open, start the car up, and get a good shot of the cold start with this straight pipe. Alright, the truck is back on the ground. There it is. You guys have seen everything, so I'm not going to get back down underneath and show it to you. But I don't know how well you guys can see, but that's what the tailpipe looks like right now. It does still hit the hitch, so I'm going to have to reposition it and readjust it. But it looks okay with it coming out at an angle, so I'll just angle it more so that this comes out to maybe like over here. But for now, it's okay. That's the only issue I have. It does sit kind of close to my shock, but that's only because it's stuck right here. Otherwise, it would be just fine. So I'm gonna go get the camera set up somewhere, start it, let you guys hear a little bit of cold start. I'll do some exhaust clips probably in a later video because it's kind of late, kind of dark. People might be upset, and I don't feel like getting the cops called on me while I'm at my house. But yeah, she's all done. I can't wait to hear what this thing sounds like. it's gonna stink like weld for a little while too, but very loud inside and out. I'll drive it around for a little while and see if I decide to put a glass pack on it or something. I probably will, because it's really loud, but we'll see. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.